Hi, it's Natasha.
And Khalil.
And we are the co-hosts of
WokeNFree.
Thank you for tuning in to our 197th episode of WokeNFree. If you've been tuning in every week for WokeNFree Wednesday, you know that WokeNFree is all about being real and honest with each other and you. We talk about everything and anything important to us, you, the world, and nothing is off the table. This week we're doing another WokeNFree Storytime called 21 Questions About Life. Before we dive deep into the subject, a couple of things to cover. First, have you downloaded the episode that you are currently listening to on WokeNFree.com through the Podbean app? If not, please do, because that's how you show the greatest support, and that's how you join the conversation. You have to have the app so that you can put in your thoughts and you can say what you think about life and how life has been going for you, and if any of the questions specifically resonated with you, because we're dying to hear your thoughts. Next, if you cannot download another app for whatever reason, then please make sure that you go to WokeNFree.com and click on the Listen tab. So we, for instance, have a lot of support, thankfully, on iTunes, on TuneIn, on Stitcher, of course, Google Play. Definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel if you aren't already subscribed. SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Spotify. Guys, we're everywhere. It's a WokeNFree world. So make sure you go, again, to WokeNFree.com. Listen tab, you can pick your platform of choice to support us there. Now, of course, another thing you could really do that's super easy and really quick is to go to WokeNFree.com, the homepage, and subscribe to the show via email. And encourage your friends and family to do that as well. To be WokeNFree is to make your friends and family WokeNFree as well. And that way you'll get weekly reminders for all the new episodes every single week for WokeNFree Wednesday. Now, on social media, you can always find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn at WokeNFree. And then, of course, if you have 90 seconds, yes, 90 seconds, what could you do? You could do a lot. What we ask you to do is to review the show, specifically go to WokeNFree.com, go on the Listen tab, pick your platform where you want to review the show at, on wherever those places exist. Definitely, we love our 5-star reviews on iTunes, so I think we could get a dozen more. That could be fun. So support us there, guys. With that, I'm done. Scene end.
I think we should get right into this life-changing episode.
Nice transition. Question 1, what is the purpose of life?
For me, it's highly speculative, but I think it's an ongoing quest to discover how the universe operates. That's how I define it.
Okay.
And we may not be meant to uncover everything, but the journey on our way to discovering the fundamentals, it's the purpose of life. We must question, collaborate, and evolve on this everlasting journey. Interesting.
So the purpose of life is to be Indiana Jones, then?
Sort of.
Amazing.
Exploration.
Amazing. I love it.
That kind of thing.
Okay, so for me, I agree it's kind of the $1 billion question or $1 trillion question. I personally think the purpose of life is an equation, because I do love math.
Really?
Simplistic math, essentially. And I think that this is an equation that is designed by each and every one of us personally. So my personal equation includes the following: enjoying endless laughter, because there's nothing better than laughing at yourself or at things in life.
All right.
Loving unconditionally and deeply, because I think that when you have that, you have just an immense amount of joy and wonder in your world, and you just attract wonderfulness when you do love unconditionally and deeply. Celebrating daily victories. The more you celebrate, the more there's things going to be sent your way to celebrate. And then, of course, creating content that motivates and inspires the world. So whether that's through podcasting, whether that's through the messages you teach your children, whether that's through the work that you do in your career, lots of ways to be a creator, specifically a content creator. Also, having new experiences and learning something new every single day. To live is to grow and evolve continuously. And then, of course, I also think you should learn more about yourself, so that you can embrace your constant evolution, because to be alive means that you're going to change. You physiologically change, but you mentally, spiritually, financially, everything changes about you on an ongoing basis. So that's my equation. That's my purpose.
Adding all those together equals life?
Yes.
Is that what you mean by equation? Okay. Question 2. How does destiny and life intersect?
I believe destiny involves various paths that your life can go in, and it's available to all of us depending upon the actions we take. I don't believe there's one destined future end goal for you. I think there's like a variety of it, and then depending upon how you're taking your daily steps leads to specific destined paths for yourself in the end.
All right. I don't know if destiny is actually real, but your decision, it may at some time seem like it's predetermined because your choice or desire is so strong. This desire, it's what controls how your life plays out.
Interesting. Okay. Question number 3. What is the best advice or quote you've heard of or read about when it comes to life?
I've only heard this quote recently, but it still sticks with me, and that's, life doesn't happen to you. It happens for you, and that's by Tony Robbins.
Law of attraction. Nice. Yes, love it. So for me, this is a quote by Mae West, which is, you only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough.
Interesting. Okay.
Very meaningful.
YOLO. Exactly.
Exactly.
Question 4. How important is goal setting when it comes to your life?
As a Virgo, I love checklists and goal setting. I mean, it practically turns me on. I know TMI.
No.
But
it cannot.
It does. That and going to the library. Now you're really like,
Ouch.
You're smooth talking to me now.
Yikes.
Yes. I love order. I love structure. It helps me navigate life. I find without it, it's very confusing and just too many options, too many things going on. So I like to like really narrow down kind of what's going on. And for me, goal setting helps me dream with focus and hone in on what I want, why I want it, and then create the action plan for how I'm going to achieve it.
Yeah, goal setting is important because it provides structure to your life, and it makes it easier to measure how well you've done. You can actually go back and see, like, maybe I could have done this differently, or what can I change in the future. So that's why it's important to set goals.
Absolutely. Question 5. Is love a mandatory part of life?
No, I don't think it's mandatory, at least the romantic type of love. But love as a human emotion, it's helpful. I think it fosters a better life in general, but it's not mandatory to fulfilling the goal of life.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that there isn't one way to do anything, and there isn't one way to live. And I do believe you can live a fulfilling life without romantic love or love as a whole. But I do think for me personally, love is mandatory. Since I was a little girl, I've always been like in love with the idea of love. I'd watched just too many romance films and television content, I think, and it just kind of made me a sucker for that type of approach of just like falling in love and just being able to love deeply and care for my loved ones. It's something that gives me immense joy.
But you think you don't need any type of love? I think you need some sort of love, because what keeps you going then? I don't know.
I mean, I do
some people love just objects too. Yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong or right.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's like people that are still alive, usually there's a love of something.
There is. For me, I always live within the confines of like, there's not one way to do something. So is it possible? I think it's possible. Is it feasible? Probably not. But is it like physiologically possible? Probably. But most likely, I do think, yes. So you love someone or something in life.
I would think so. Question 6. How does happiness play a role in life?
So growing up, happiness was definitely something that I struggled with, and that made life much harder. And ultimately, being able to focus on my happiness as an adult has made life more exciting. It's made life more enjoyable and more thrilling. And to be honest, I think, when you have happiness, you're able to manifest the life you really want for yourself that includes the things that make you happy and allows you to attract more things that make you more happy. So I think it's a good pivotal point to be able to help you design the life you want if you embed happiness there.
That's true. I think it actually should be at the top of priorities in your life, to be honest.
Yes.
A happy life makes everything that much more enjoyable compared to living like a punishing life where you think you don't deserve better. It's better just to live happy.
That part right there, yes. Question number 7, is learning every day a requirement of life?
It's vital to keeping a healthy mind. Learning is like exercise for your brain. You push it past its limits so that later on you get greater capacity and growth. So I think you do have to learn every day.
So the Arnold Schwarzenegger approach to
flex those mind muscles.
Hey, get it. You listen.
Flex those neurons, I guess. I don't know.
Flex those neurons.
Yeah.
That's a teacher statement if I've ever heard one. Very nice. I too agree. I think to live is to learn. There is so much that we need to learn about ourselves, about the world that we live in, so that we can make a change in it, and also just make it a better place for ourselves, for our youth. And so if you're not learning on a daily basis, I would question kind of what you think is more paramount than learning. I would really I'd want someone to address that.
Oh, all right. Wow. Question 8. Is it possible to design your life?
Yes, absolutely. We are the living proof along with a lot of other people. Why do I say that? By deciding to leave New York and move to a whole new state with no new friends or security or, some type of, plan in place, but just other than our desire to live how we want to live is living proof. It's our testimony that you can pick up and decide how you want to live, when you want to live, where you want to live, all of that good stuff. So yes, over and over and over again, people lie to themselves and say they cannot live how they want. We are here to tell you that is not true. We talk about it in our book. We talk about it on the show. Get with it, y'all.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that. It definitely is possible, especially just thinking about The Secret and how that affects your life. And a pro tip is I would first use a vision board. I think that makes it a lot easier to map out your life.
Absolutely. Question 9. Does your life have to make an impact on others?
So I don't think it'll directly have to make an impact on others, but your life will actually impact them, even if you don't want it to, because the thing is, all of your choices affect other people. Example is climate change wasn't created by one individual, right? The group came together to help create this path.
Touche. Yes, all us gas guzzling, diesel using trucks.
Factories burning fossil fuels. Yeah, we work together to make this. We buy the products, so the factory's got to keep pumping it out.
It's a thing. It's a thing, guys. So, I would say you definitely, again, there's not one way to do anything. So to your point though, I think unintentionally we can actually, we are impacting each other, but not intentionally. You don't have to, but unintentionally we actually all are impacting each other. And so that is an important note. But I would say that for those who are thinking about the intentionality of their life, you should want to have an impact on others, because whether that is for making this world a better place for your children, for your spouse, for your friends, for those that you work with, we all have the opportunity every single day to make this world how we want to make it and how we want to experience it. It's not, like you said, life isn't happening to us, but it's for us, right? And so, just think about that and the decisions you make.
Question 10. How do you know if you are happy with your life?
Such an interesting question. So I think it comes down to having a deep understanding of knowing what makes you happy, and then being honest with yourself and assessing, are you living life in a way where you're doing what makes you happy? Are you around people that make you happy? Are you in an environment that fosters happiness? And if the answer to those questions are yes, then theoretically you're living a happy life. But if any of those questions result in a no, then no, you're not fully happy. And then the onus is on you to make the change so that you can say you have a happy life.
All right. Another question that I thought that you could ask yourself is, if you repeat the life exactly with the choices that you made as it's come to this point in time today, would you do that? Or would you go back and change many things about it? I would look at it from that point of view, because because sometimes, you could look at happiness on little events, or you can take it as a whole for your whole life.
Yep.
So to do that, I think you got to go back and kind of walk through everything and say, man, I wish, if you have too many regrets, that I don't know if you're actually truly happy because you have all those regrets. That seems like a hard point to stand on and be happy.
So if you could make Groundhog Day a day, like for today or tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah, would you keep doing it? How many times would you repeat it even?
Interesting.
Would there be a limit? Would you say, well, I can only do it one more go around, but after that, I've got to change everything? Or you say, hey, I liked it. I would live it as many times as possible.
Interesting. That's a very interesting question.
It's a hard one, yeah.
Question 11. What matters most to you in life?
What matters to me is discovery, as I answered about what is life about, basically. Happiness, freedom, love, and truth.
Yes.
Those are mine.
Love that. Okay, for me, it would be love. Love for life, love for yourself, love for those that matter most to you. It would be impact. I think people underestimate the impact that we have on each other. Positivity. I think that for me, a negativity I find actually immensely offensive. So I definitely value positivity and people who can look at the cup and see it as half full. Happiness. And then also fun, just really enjoying things as much as possible and not being like an overthinker like myself and just being more present.
Don't overthink it.
Yeah, just have fun.
All right. Those are good. Question 12. Do you ever get over your childhood as you get older?
I think for me, I would say not so much. I very much feel like the girl I was when I was 6 years old. Like, I still cook the same. I still enjoy the same things. I still do things the exact same way I've done as a 6-year-old. And I was, as you could say, oh, Tosh, wow, you're an advanced 6-year-old. Yes, I was. I was quite advanced.
No, you laugh a lot differently.
I do laugh a lot different. My voice is different. But, for people who've known me since I was a child, they do say you're like pretty much the same. So, I think ultimately, that's where I stand on it. But, I would be interested on folks listening to the show. If you feel like you're different or you also agree with me, like, I'd love to hear that. Like, I'd love to interview people and understand, like, the timeline, like you at 6 versus you now. How different are you? I'm curious how people feel about that.
All right. Well, I know me. I feel I'm a lot different from when I was a child. I think I was more of a daredevil and took a lot more risks than compared to now.
So you were badass. Nice.
I just tried different things. That's how I could put it.
Nice.
Yeah, I was experimenting. I was a true scientist.
Okay.
You got to try every possibility.
Okay.
I think your childhood is always a part of you. You don't ever get over it, really.
Yeah.
You can forget about it, but the events that happened when you were a child, they shape your life till today. So
that's true.
It doesn't really matter if you forget what happened. It's still
there.
It still has an influence over you. So,
absolutely. Okay.
That's what I think.
Now, question 13. What are your greatest fears when it comes to life?
My greatest fears would be keeping my loved ones safe. That would be the first one. I think that's just a tough one.
Okay, Jason Bourne. Nice.
It's important. And then another one is that humanity, they may never solve all their self-made problems.
Now that surprises me that you say that.
Because that's a surprise for you. I hope it's not.
Because I feel like you're like, another 2,000 years, sure, it'll get shaken out, it'll get resolved. Like,
that it has to actually happen though.
Oh, okay.
That's if it didn't happen, then that'd be one of my fears realized.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not even around to even verify it. Well, verified. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I have some. Maybe I'll be able to have.
Ether, I guess. Or
I don't know, but like I'm just thinking long term here.
Okay, nice.
I'm not thinking in my lifetime. I have to go beyond that.
Of course. Well, WokeNFree.
I'm not thinking in the human lifetime.
Beyond our lifetimes. Understood. Gotcha. All right. So for me, I would say making sure that I'm not making decisions based around fear, because I have seen that being played out in my life by others, and that to me seems like a disaster. When you have fear in your heart, when you doubt yourself, when you don't know where to go and you're just like kind of throwing things in the air, it seems like it can just really lead to bad decisions, and it can really impact your family, and it can impact, the people nearest to you. So that to me is like the biggest fear, like just making sure that whenever I am deciding things that like I'm intentional about it, even if I don't know what the outcome is going to be, that I move forward with my gut feeling that I've done my due diligence and that I'm not acting on a place of fear.
You are now listening to WokeNFree.
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 WokeNFree. WokeNFree.
A podcast that keeps it real and honest.
Question 14. What is a movie that helped you understand life more?
So there's a lot of really good films that you can point to here, but I think for me, and that's unfortunate because it has a situation, this movie I'm about to mention has an actor that, has been accused of some really heinous, disgusting acts, which is Pay It Forward, and it has what's his name?
Oh no, you're not talking about Kevin Spacey.
Correct. Yes.
Oh yeah, he's in that movie.
Yes. Yeah. But it was a really phenomenal film. If you've seen it, we link to it according to ScoopWhoop.com. Don't laugh.
No, because I know you would say that again too.
I do actually. I do.
Yes.
Stop reading my mind. You suck.
Come on.
Pay It Forward is an inspiring story of an 11-year-old boy who starts a project of practicing kindness and compassion that spreads to others. While in the real world, the abundance in the practice of selfishness might overtake altruism, there's no price to pay for wishful thinking, is there? Pay It Forward is a movie that makes you yearn for a better world where there is a pay it forward scheme of kindness and inspires you to try to do the same. And so for me, I think the movie was really impactful because it speaks to trauma. Kevin Spacey plays a role where he was severely abused as a child, and half his body is burned, and it's like a vicious story of what had happened to him. And even the 11-year-old who has this kind of plan to pay it forward and to be kind, it ends tragically. I don't want to say what happens, just in case you haven't seen the film. But that is for me, it talked about trauma, it talked about love, it also talked about kindness, and also how sometimes kindness isn't always received well with kindness. And those are they're different themes to learn about life. And it was harsh, and it was dynamic and complicated. And, a lot of times I think those are words that are used to describe life.
Okay.
How about you?
Mine, well, you know me. Mine's got to be more sci-fi in nature.
Lord have mercy.
So, this is probably the most impactful sci-fi movie maybe to this point I've seen is The Matrix.
Shameful.
And come on, you know that movie had too many. I should
have said
it had too many
Land
things
Before
in it.
Time. That is what I should have said.
It could have impacted your life. That helped me learn about death. I would say if we were doing a death episode, then I could say that was impactful for death.
Mother and Littlefoot.
That helped with at least the concept of death. But The Matrix is the concept of life.
You're a mess.
It definitely is. It's the exact opposite of Land Before Time.
It's the precursor to what's coming, guys.
It could be. I don't even think I need to do a synopsis on this. Who hasn't seen The Matrix? Everybody knows it.
Plenty of people.
Well, I don't want to ruin it,
yeah.
But I'll just say
we'll include a link in the episode. You guys can check it out.
We'll include a link in the episode, and it just blows your mind because the world you're living in is a virtual reality in this movie. That's
and
a summary.
Speaking figuratively and actually.
Yeah, and you don't know you're living in a virtual reality. That's what the Matrix is going through, basically.
The machines run the world. Guys. Pick the right pill.
That's the fun thing.
Correct.
But the movie, it just opened my mind to the idea that reality, it's not what you think it is. And you can't believe everything your senses tells you.
Yes.
Because people way too much, they rely on their senses and they're like, well, I experienced it, so it's real. I saw that image. It has to be real. It had to be there. I smelt it. I could touch it. Yeah. I see that person in my toast. That's a prophet. No, that isn't. Just because it looks like some prophet that you've seen in a book that someone's written, that doesn't mean it's true.
Said somebody saw a prophet in their toast?
Yes, it's happened.
You're a mess.
And they saw their statue bleed blood from the eyes. No.
Stop it. Stop referring to The Exorcist.
But no, all I'm saying is people trust their senses way too much and they believe, hey, I experienced it. It's a real thing. But The Matrix shows you, yeah, you can experience stuff, but it's not real. Like, you don't understand what life truly is.
I'm going to pray for you.
So that it opened me up though, because I didn't think like that before. I didn't think like that. I thought, as long as you're a sane person, everything your senses tell you is real. There's nothing more to it. But once you go deeper, you understand.
I'm going to cut you off.
You can't do that.
Right there.
You can't do it.
I hear you. Okay, sir. It's
different than yours. It's different than yours.
Prove it that we're not living in the Matrix. Prove it, guys. Put your thoughts in the comments. Question 15. How does your current life compare to what you thought what life would be like as you were a child? Like, you're a kid now. If you go back in time at this moment and you're a child, how does your life compare?
It's a lot like I envisioned it. The only thing is I just didn't know how much I didn't know. That's the only difference. There was things that I couldn't expect and things I needed to do that I didn't expect, but the thing I did know is I knew there would be a lot of responsibility and I'd have a lot more control over my life. And that's what I was looking forward to with growing up. Because I hated not being in control. Yeah, I just didn't know how much like things there were to learn and still learn. I didn't realize. I thought, hey, it's a
fair point.
Yeah, I just thought I couldn't see it all. It was hard.
Absolutely. So growing up, I never thought I would have all the blessings that I currently have in my life right now. Like, I definitely was that girl who had crushes on people, but I never thought I would actually have someone love me back. You know, Lord knows, yes, there were tons of crushes. I'm also, blessed to say, I was very lonely. I didn't necessarily have a lot of people who understood me and I could call a friend, which that hasn't much changed since I was a child. But I would say for the people that do get me, like, I'm surprised that they do get me, because I part of me always feels like, do you get me? Can you really understand who I am? But I do have people who I can say, yes, yes. So that's amazing. Also, I couldn't even imagine being able to be in a position in my life where I could use my voice to help impact people, not just, in my neighborhood, but like around the world. We have listeners from around the globe, which is just remarkable to me. I think it's such an incredible blessing to be able to say that people in South America, in Africa, in Europe are listening to our show and are impacted by our opinions, whether they agree with us, not agree with us. Either way, they've tuned in. That to me is just so remarkable. I could have never imagined that. And also, I didn't know where I stood on motherhood, and to be able to say I'm creating our child is, again, it blows my mind. So I would say, to your point, yes, I don't know what I don't know was definitely, I agree with that sentiment, but also I'm surprised by all the blessings that I didn't think I was going to be privy to. So. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Question 16. How does mental health play a role in your life?
So I've learned through growing up that, it's okay to not feel okay. And that the more honest you are about that, the fact that, like, if you're not okay, if you're not feeling well, if you're not feeling together, if you're not feeling like you're in a good place mentally, that it is not something to submerge. It is not something to hide from. It is not something to also be ashamed of, but that you have to release that and you have to share that and you have to seek mental health treatment. Because if you don't, your life will actually be compromised by your compromised mental health. And so it's your life essentially is a reflection of your thoughts. So if you're having unhealthy thoughts, what does that mean? You're going to have an unhealthy life, right? It's a 1-for-1, guys. So we have to really think about that. And then we have to say, hey, this is not just like optional, like, I'll deal with mental health on Saturdays. Nope. It's a daily investment in time and energy and honesty and truth, because otherwise you might take your life. You might compromise your life. You might compromise those around you because you're not taking your mental health seriously.
All right, I understand mental health is definitely important, but I'm definitely not the person to give advice because it's not a large concern for me.
Yeah.
I just stick my head in the sand on the idea, actually.
You're ostriching on this one, huh?
Yeah,
Nice.
No, I don't even think about it.
But we've had episodes around it. We've had Faith Costa come on.
Yeah, there's better people to speak on it than I can.
Yeah.
So, I can't.
Do you want to share with the audience as to like why mental health so far hasn't maybe played a big
because I think I'm too analytical about mental health. So any kind of concepts I'll think I try to weigh, why does that make sense?
Like logic and all that. But you do acknowledge that it's something of real importance. Though, right?
Yeah, I acknowledge that. Yeah, and I understand how it's important. Yeah, it's just
so far it just hasn't greatly impacted your life.
Because I choose to not even. It's just my,
you're just cut off from.
I'm cut off from the mental health space.
You're cut off emotionally, right?
Maybe that's what
that's why then you don't allow because you don't experience a lot of emotional. You have a limited emotional bandwidth. Then that means that from a mental health perspective, you're not going to have like a series of episodes because those episodes are usually emotion filled, right? And so like rage or sadness or depression, if you don't experience those things, then
if I get sad, I could just think about why am I sad, and then I can just say,
work action.
Well, that doesn't make sense. Gotcha. Let me just be happy. So I'll just do something like that.
But
I know
that's
for me,
your
I'm not saying
perspective.
anybody can do that.
Everyone's different.
Exactly,
Exactly.
This is just me. That's
no,
why
but that's important.
I can't give advice
It's important to
on this.
say because we want people to feel and know that, right? There's some people who take that approach to life, right?
Yeah.
That, Robot 101. You took the course
That's
and
what you call it.
You totally adapted. Like you're in it to win it.
That sounds
and then
like a
there's
fun
people
course.
like me who definitely just live within the swamp of emotions.
Emotion 101?
Yes, the Emotion 101 class. And that really
nice.
took me home.
That's like a fun class. That's the never ending one, right? You never graduate from it.
It's the gift that keeps giving.
Okay.
So yes, you never graduate.
Yeah, that's a real fun one. You're always taking it.
Absolutely. Question 17. What has been the most important moment in your life to date?
Well, I think you know this one. This is the easy answer. It's finding the woman I love.
Oh, who's she?
I can't believe you would even take that.
Oh,
Can't
she
believe you
sounds
take that
lovely.
stance.
Oh, she sounds lovely.
I can't believe you would take that
Oh,
stance.
how nice. Well, you didn't state her name, so I guess it's open for interpretation here.
There should be no interpretation necessary. There's a piece of paper that says who it is.
Oh.
The paper says it.
The paper says it.
Yeah.
So the
It's
legal
proof.
contract says it.
it's proof. It's if you want to validate something, you can show it to people. You say, I have this paper here. Now you have the evidence.
And no one ever makes fraudulent paper, so.
Well, they do, but
Okay.
that's not nice, though.
That is not nice. And it's a crime.
Exactly. See?
Okay, so obviously you want something. That's nice. And so.
Oh, wow. All right. I didn't know that.
When do you not?
That's a good question.
Exactly.
Excellent question.
Freak-a-leak.
No.
My answer to this question is moving to Arizona because it opened us up to new opportunities, new people, new ways for us to live. And also, I literally think is the best decision of our life. Obviously, meeting you has been one of the most momentous experiences in our life, but I think that there's a level of happiness that I've seen within you that I've never seen before. So that's why I think moving to Arizona, and as much as people are like, gosh, they're obsessed with it. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. I could make a TikTok video about it. I think it has been one of the most important moments, but yeah. I appreciate your self-interested answer though, too.
Self-interested when discussing my lover.
Yes. I wonder who she is, yeah. The way that you laugh from it is...
Yeah, because this is a tough one for you.
Yeah,
it's like,
it is.
That's what's the troubling
Because you
part.
know why? Because you're so vague in the answer. That's why I love it, too.
I have to be vague because I want to make sure you can actually figure out what it is. I'm like, hopefully you can
Me
get
or
that
someone
one.
else there.
See, look at you adding stuff to it. This is a simple one that we don't need a Sherlock Holmes to get the answer to this question, right?
Yeah, just go through your Facebook.
I don't know what that is going to help with, but okay.
Okay.
Question 18. How does success play a role in your life?
As an overachiever, the more accolades I have in life, the more that I am motivated to have more achievement. I was raised in a household that pretty much was the mantra was achieve or fall off the planet. So for me, that is just kind of the feeling of winning. And again, I'm not in competition with anyone else but myself, but just being able to say, hey, I've done this, or I've set a goal and I accomplished it, really just feels good. And it gives me the opportunity to continue to dream bigger and to live my best life. And most importantly, as a proponent of understanding that life is lived through representation, the more that I win, the more that I achieve, the more that I document that, I'm giving inspiration and motivation and the opportunity for others to live through my representation and say, oh, I too can be a lawyer. I too can be a writer. I too can be a poet. I too can be a public speaker. I too can be a content creator, right? If I've done it, you give permission to someone else to go and do their thing and to go and live their dream. So that's how I view accomplishment and success in life.
All right. I think accomplishment and success, it's helped me in just verifying that I've been making good decisions along the way. Because otherwise, if I was just seeing a lot of failure, then I would second guess if I was making the right choices or not. So I just use it as something to know if you're doing what's right. At least what's right for you, right?
Like check box, check.
Yeah,
check,
it's like,
gotcha.
all right, I did well, so I must have made the right decision. Let me continue doing stuff in that vein.
Love it. Okay. Question 19. How has social media played a role in your life?
Social media, it's been a new form of interacting with others. And the thing is, the really benefit to it is that it allows you to interact and there's no threat of physical harm. That's what I think has been the
For
biggest
you,
benefit.
not everyone's experience. Some people have, I've told you about that. People have reported being physically assaulted from connecting with people through social media. So.
And there's swatting too. I mean, there's
Excuse me?
swatting.
Pardon?
It's when all right, so let's say we're playing a video game
Yes.
and it's a first person shooter and your team's beating me.
Yeah.
What I do is, and I know where you live, what I do is I call the SWAT and I report like some activity that you're doing.
Are you referring to police?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they bring in like their SWAT team, you know,
like
the
in
ones,
the film?
Yeah, the ones with the vest on and
They have a number you can call for that?
ARs and
oh wow.
No, I think it's by what you report. So if you do like a certain type of threat, like I don't know,
like
explosives
a bomb threat or something like that.
Yeah, if you do
my
that and you
gosh.
say they have that or they have a hostage, stuff like that.
They'll come to they'll raid your home? Oh
yeah,
my
they raid the
gosh.
home and the person loses the match. So that it's called swatting. It's a real thing.
Stop, don't make me laugh.
I know it's messed up. It's
not funny. Come on.
It's not funny, but it's kind of messed up. And
wait a minute, you're
isn't
joking?
it twisted?
Are
No,
you
it's a
saying
real
some of this-
thing.
People are really doing
It's happened. Yeah.
Wait a minute, but
isn't that really
the
messed
people
up?
who call are they getting fined because that's false? That's false.
I'm not sure what
reporting,
happens
though.
to them. I don't know what happens
That's
to them.
maddening.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
That's
don't know
insane,
that in the
just to
story.
win the
You can win the
game?
match. Yeah, you want to get your kill
But
death
what if
ratio up or
what if
your
the SWAT
win
like
ratio
what if
up.
they discover something and then that gets
They
that
could hurt
person,
them too. They can, the person could get hurt in doing it. I
Well,
think.
what if they have like drugs out or something? And
Yeah,
like,
anything could happen. That's why it's crazy over a video game.
But how do they find your address?
The person knows you already somehow.
they know
So it might be like if we're on a
you.
college campus and I know what dorm you're in, I can SWAT you. So it's not like, you don't do it to a
That's
complete stranger.
bizarre.
You do it to somebody that
'Cause I
you
was
know.
like,
but-
are they looking at their IP address or something like something weird?
Nah, they don't even do all that.
Oh, wow.
They actually know you directly somehow.
That's creepy.
I don't think you do it to your friends, but I'm not sure. Friends might have done it to each other. What they call friends.
The loose terminology is quite loose. Wow, that's horrifying.
So that's one of the negatives, though. So technically, there could be physical harm, but
You haven't
when you're
experienced
anonymous,
that, at least.
no. But I'm just saying, in general, some things are anonymous, where you can say you can voice your opinion, and someone's not going to come and retaliate because of it. That's what I
Hopefully
mean.
not. Yeah, hopefully.
But depending on how you're doing it, because if you have your kind of like your profile out there. And people see it, then they can retaliate. But if you have an avatar and you're not, your face isn't behind it, you can talk to people and they can't come and make fun of you or something. They can't do all that. So I think it's good because you can get like opposite people expressing their views.
I mean,
that would never, because there's certain people that would never talk to each other, but now through social media, they do. And then you can kind of get the dialogue going. But we know there's a super negative side because sometimes it's just people are trolling others.
Yeah.
It gets toxic. They always want to bring up the same kind of stuff. So it's, goes either way. But
absolutely,
in my life, I just, it's been interesting interacting with people I never would have interacted with.
Okay. So for me, I would say social media has offered the following opportunity to have creative expression, which you talked about, being able to connect and network with others without the threat of swatting, apparently. That is not something that I knew about,
You
nor
didn't even know about that.
was
Oh, wow.
I privy to that behavior. That's something to prey on.
This is
And
what
that's
I've learned from
interesting.
social media. I would have never known that.
That's creepy. Also, it's an opportunity for branding and expansion of our businesses and the work that we do and the impact we're trying to make, as well as the opportunity to learn and grow, whether it's terminology, whether it's more about how to be better at social media or what, different people's perspectives. There's a lot to learn and grow from. And there's a lot of also interesting content out there. So those are just some of the reasons. But yeah, social media has been impactful for sure. I definitely love it. I don't want it to ever go away.
Now it's so connected in your life.
It's
like,
a part of my heart, 100%.
You just can't pull it out of your veins.
No,
like that.
it is literally a part of my DNA now. Yeah.
Yeah. Question 20. What has been the biggest surprise in your life to date?
How much fun it's been living on my own terms and refusing to live in a way that others want me to. So whether it's me having to succumb to certain traditions or having to, choose to say or not say things because of what is traditionally done, being able to buck the system and just be myself has been really fun. It's also been really interesting to see how upsetting that is to other people.
Yeah, definitely.
And I look forward to teaching my son by the Jedi.
Living liberally.
Yes, the Jedi moves and ways to master life and to, live on your own terms and to eat the cookie and have all of it and smile.
So throw conservatism to the wind.
Yeah, I think you have to. Listen, I mean, there are conservative parts of my personality, but yeah, generally I'm a hardcore liberal. But I do have certain conservative ideas, and beliefs for sure. But I want people to be woke and free. I want people to get educated and to be free each and every day of their life. And so, to be able to say I have that in my life, and it's a journey, right? You can't be like, I'm woke forever. No, you have to continue to learn and grow. So at least starting the journey and just seeing it through the end has been really fun and really exciting.
All right. My biggest surprise is actually about people. And it's that they could be such big hypocrites and have so much hubris that it's appalling.
2 H's.
It's
and it's
utterly appalling. Yes.
You sound like me. I'm just absolutely disgusted.
Definitely.
This is disgusting and just
yeah, because
makes me sick.
It's crazy. I didn't know about that. I didn't know people would attack people vehemently for their actions while ignoring their own pitfalls
or their own viewpoints. Right? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's part of it. And people, they're just so sure that what they perceive is real. Going back to what I said earlier.
Madness, yeah.
Yeah, that to me, that's just flabbergasting, these people.
It is. I like the SAT words. I think this is a brilliant assessment.
But it's all been surprising for me, though.
It is remarkable indeed.
Yeah.
If we're going to continue on this path.
Okay.
So, I agree. I think the lack of self-awareness is destroying our planet.
Definitely.
And we can do better, and we will be doing better. Or I guess we'll just live in the Matrix forever, right? I mean,
because it's just
we'll
like,
just have to see.
It goes back to this saying that people say, all right, you don't have to, when you're driving, you have to worry about other people. They're doing the bad driving. But the truth is, that's you too, right? If everybody's saying that, then who's actually the bad drivers?
Correct.
Like, it has to be the person saying it, because who else is the bad drivers? Everybody says that. Just worry about the other people on the road. Yeah. No, it's because you're driving bad as well.
Well, one of the
people
things
don't understand that.
I want to teach our son is you are the common denominator in your life everywhere you go. So,
yeah.
If everyone else is messing up, then you have to take a look at yourself and say, hey, self, hey, boo, and see what's really up. What's up?
Yeah, you got to be real with yourself.
Always be willing to stand in front of the mirror and see what's really in front of you. So, yeah, it's a good point. Question 21. What are you looking forward to the most in life?
Well, besides the birth of our son,
Booyah,
which is going to be a big moment.
Epic.
I'm looking forward to growth from the world, actually. And just like how you love social media, I think that eventually it's going to bring a real connectedness to everybody overall. I think it'll be a positive. It's just going to take some time for people to stop abusing it and getting used to the benefits of it. So that's what I think.
I love the tone, how it totally drops. I don't actually believe you. So.
Yeah. You should believe me, though. You should believe, because remember, that's a fear of mine too, so that's what I'm saying.
So you're like, I don't know, you're a little bit pensive about the matter.
Yeah. It's something nice. I'm unsure of, but nice. I hope for.
Okay, well, I'm going to pick it back up a notch, because that's how we do, guys.
Oh, all right.
Okay, so I'm looking forward, because we're looking forward, so we have to be optimistic, Khalil.
All right.
And I'm optimistically looking forward to every opportunity the universe sends our way. I think the universe, I believe the Gabrielle Bernstein, she has a book, or she has a phrase, the universe has your back. I 100% support that. Yes, yes, yes. Also, our ability to grow and evolve. For me personally, I look forward to growing and evolving as a woman, as a wife, as a mother, as a friend, as a leader, as a contributor to my community, right? Any identifier possible. Just yes. And then also surprises. Typically I'm not a fan of surprises, but there's something to be learned from surprises and unexpected moments. And so I'm embracing them. And as pregnancy has taught me, losing complete control of everything when it comes to my body and life.
Amazing.
100% amazing. Yeah. Also terrifying to just be present, right? And to just be in it to win it. And I look forward to being able to, to just meet our son and to see what comes next. Every single day is going to be a new adventure, as it already has been. And I can't wait for it to just continue on, and we can, download our minds or upload our minds into the cloud and live digitally after we're done transitioning from this form. So
that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, just like the show.
Oh, the show?
Upload, remember? We watched it.
Oh, like that. Okay,
yeah.
just like that. You're talking about that. All right. I thought you were going to the other...
Not that trend. I'm not seeing that movie. Because you watched it with me.
No, you need to. You fell asleep and it was sad.
We could watch it with our son. Baby man.
Oh, that is a shame, too.
We'll watch it in 12 years.
In time.
The Exorcist reference.
Exactly.
Exorcist. Yes. Now, we are at that time. It looks like it's coming to the end of our 197th episode of Woke and Free. Good Lord. Come back next week for the new Woke and Free Wednesday episode.
And make sure you follow us on social media to follow along the conversation. Also, make sure you tune in next week for Woke and Free Wednesday to join the conversation at WokeNFree.com.
If you'd like to be a guest, make sure you submit a topic for an upcoming episode on our Contact Us page at WokeNFree.com. And if you don't know how that's spelled, that is WokenFree.com. Now, when it comes to social media, we cannot say it enough. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Pinterest, LinkedIn at Woke and Free. And then sponsorships or collaborations, where do you go? I said it before, I'll say it again. It's our Contact Us page at WokenFree.com.
If you didn't already subscribe, please do, share the episode, and make sure you come back to join the conversation every Wednesday for Woke and Free Wednesdays. Remember, Woke and Free is more than a podcast, it is a way of life. Until next time.